Shalom, shalom, y'all. Yazoo, Knights of the Wilderness, man. We are back with another video. So today it's gonna be a short little video, right? Talking about King David, the first real king of Israel, right? And we know that the Most High loved David. We know that the Most High had respect unto David. We know that the Most High is still serving out promises through the bloodline of David just because of how he lived his life and how David walked in his days, right? So we got to ask ourselves, you know what I'm saying? When we read the scriptures, why was David so close to the Most High? Why did David get all these blessings from the Most High? And why are promises that, you know, the Most High gave David still being fulfilled to this day? What was so important, right? And while I was reading, you know, First and Second Samuel, I noticed something. I noticed a recurring pattern. I noticed that David was constantly inquiring of the Lord. He was constantly inquiring of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Over and over, we see David inquired of the Lord. That's why David was actually called a man after God's own heart in the scriptures, right? So I'm going to go over a couple of these examples of David inquiring of the Lord, and we're going to try to put that in perspective for our daily lives and how we can move like that, right? Let's get into it. So we got 1 Samuel chapter 23 and 1, right? And it says, "Then they told David, saying, Behold, the Philistines fight against Keilah, and they robbed the threshing floors." Verse 2 saying, "Therefore David inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I go and smite these Philistines? And the Lord said unto David, Go and smite the Philistines and save Keilah." Right? So, first, what we have going on is obviously war with the Philistines. You see all throughout the Old Testament, we was constantly going at it with the Philistines, right? So here we have, they're attacking a city in Israel. They're attacking one of our cities. And, you know, they tell David like, yo, they sliding. David, before he just goes off of, what would you call it? What's that word, y'all? It starts with an I. I don't know. But just going off of, you know, he could have just went off of his own will and just went out there, you know what I'm saying, to go fight these Philistines. But that's not what he did first. First thing he did was ask the Most High, shall I go and smite these Philistines? Shall I go and attack and go join in battle with them? Right? So that's showing, for one, y'all had to understand, we got free will. David could have easily just flew out, grabbed his men, and went to go fight the Philistines, right? But who knows how it would have turned out. And then it says, and the Lord said unto David, Go and smite the Philistines and save the city. You get what I'm saying? So he had to get that approval from the Most High first. He had to make sure everything was right with the Most High first. This is why the scriptures say, lean not onto your own understanding. David could have just heard the words of these men and just flew out, grabbed his sword, grabbed his men, and went to go fight them. But who knows if David would have lived through that battle if he didn't ask the Lord first, right? If he didn't, you know, make sure everything was straight. And this is also going into the faith. These inquiries show how strong David's faith was. You see what I'm saying? Because when he's hearing the Most High respond back to him saying, go, and go smite them, and they'll be delivered into your hands. I'm going to bring up the other scriptures when he inquires, and they say they will be delivered into your hands. You get what I'm saying? It requires faith to look for that answer, wait for an answer, and then move off of that answer. This is battle we talking about. This is war we talking about, y'all. This is not should I run to the store real quick? This is war. Every time you go into battle, bro, you can lose your life. But David's faith in the Most High was so strong that he was moving basically completely off of the will of the Most High. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we have to do. We have to implement the inquiry of the Lord, praying to the Most High daily into our lives. So we move down to verse 3, and it says, And David's men said unto him, Behold, we be afraid here in Judah. How much more then if we come to Keilah against the armies of the Philistines? Then David inquired of the Lord yet again. And the Lord answered him and said, Arise, go down to Keilah, and I will deliver the Philistines into thine hand. All right, so that's just certification, right? So David is even looking for reassurance from the reassurance. He want to make sure, the Most High is saying to go down there. You know what I'm saying? He's only willing to listen to what the Most High is saying. So y'all, I want y'all to really kind of get where I'm coming from with this and try to instill this into y'all, man. Constantly inquiring of the Lord about your daily decisions, big decisions, small decisions. You get what I'm saying? Let the Most High lead your life in all those aspects, right? And this is going to be the last example I'm using out of this chapter, right? And to summarize it, you know what I'm saying? When David was going down into that city, this was in the time where Saul was seeking after David to kill him, right? And, David was getting skeptical, that the people in that city would basically deliver him to King Paul. I said Paul, Saul, right? And it's saying, David, he says, O Lord God of Israel, thy servant has certainly heard that Saul seeketh to come to Keilah to destroy the city for my sake. Will the men of Keilah deliver me up into his hand? Will Saul come down as thy servant has heard? O Lord God of Israel, I beseech thee, tell thy servant. And the Lord said, he will come down. So look, David is hearing basically, that back door coming, from the people. And, he probably started getting a little worried and whatnot. But what did he do? He went to go ask of the Most High. So when y'all find yourself in situations where y'all feel fearful, worried, uncertain, ask the Most High. Inquire of the Most High. Be strengthy and mighty in the Most High, right? And then now that David asked that, he was able to get that answer from the Most High, like, yeah, they're going to come for you down there, right? And then you move down to verse 12 and it says, Then said David, Will the men of Keilah deliver me and my men into the hand of Saul? And the Lord said, They will deliver thee up. And then basically after that, David and them fled from the city. Okay? So that's how we supposed to carry it going in these situations, man. In these times of uncertainty, and even when you feel like you certain, still be certain with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Ask the Most High and move from there. Now, the last example I'm going to be using for y'all, right? It's going to be 2 Samuel chapter 21. This is the first verse. Saying, Then there was a famine in the land in the days of David, year after year. And David inquired of the Lord. And the Lord answered, It is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. Right? So David is basically asking, there's something wrong in the kingdom. That's another thing we have to understand, yo. When there's something wrong going on, like, all right, for instance, in this case, it was a famine. So this is a matter of evil, right? Because we know that the Most High uses the wicked as his sword, right? So he uses evil as a sword, as punishment to do his will, right? So there was evil going on. The people were starving. And David's asking, like, yo, why is this going on? Why is this going on with the people or in the land? And Most High answered saying they're still paying off for the sins of Saul. You get what I'm saying? Because he slew the Gibeonites, you know what I'm saying? People that weren't supposed to be killed, basically, at that time. So David had to inquire and get that answer. I also want to make note of the fact that it took 3 years. It took 3 years because, we all still human at the end of the day. When everything's going on, you know what I'm saying? We try to find matters of excuse for it. We try to find reasonings. We try to make sense of it for ourselves, right? When we have to understand, you cannot lean on your own understanding. And it also tells you not to trust in the Lord and not trust in men. So if you're going to be looking for any kind of advice, if you want to see the reasoning for something like, yo, why is this going on in my life? Why is this happening? Why is this happening to the people around me, right? You want to ask the Most High. This is the genius behind it all. He's going to be the one that has the answers, right? So once David found out that this is because, that basically the kingdom was still paying off for the sins of Saul and what he put us through. You know what I'm saying? Basically, David, he went and atoned for that. He went and atoned for Saul, and he gave basically he gave the Gibeonites like what do we call that? Like reparations basically for what they went through for the previous king, right? And when that happened, you get what I'm saying? Then there was no more famine in the land. Okay? So I just want y'all to pay attention to that. Read the scriptures for yourself and kind of implement the constant inquiry of the Lord into your lives, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're going to cut it off right there. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High, man. We out.